Monday, December 3rd. I can't go back to the farmhouse. This morning I spotted 2 dead things in the fallow fields a few hundred yards in the distance. I can't chance going to the house and getting trapped inside by those things. It's best to head on south again. That way looks clear, but damn it, I'm going to miss the Grundles' place. Since I can't take blankets and quilts with me, I tied up an old thermal blanket that takes up little room to my backpack. Thank goodness I'm well stocked. Down the ladder I go and through the barbed wire fence. I'm bundled well, 3 layers worth, but the wind chill still manages to find the chinks in my armor. Better rested and fed, I find I can make good progress today. Sometimes I ask myself why I wasn't more diligent in trying to get home. To be honest, I don't know what I'll find when I get there. Deep down, I know my parents are dead. Yet it's the thought of home that drives me on. That memory and the warm sense of belonging and safety and hope it gives me is what keeps me aimed toward the south, trudging through countless cities and states to get there. Alabama. It's now my sole focus, my purpose. I made my decision to head there the morning I saw my first dead things. There were 2 of them, both female. At first they looked like women still in shock. Blood covered their ripped clothing. Their eyes were wide, their faces pasty white. I was delighted to finally see people again, so I yelled at them from out my apartment window. I told them to hold on, I'd be right out. I ran down the back stairs and around the corner of the building before hitting that wall of horror. Someone else had seen them too. Apparently he had thought he was totally alone, just like I had. But he'd managed to reach the 2 women before I did, and for that, I'll forever be grateful. Standing in the shadows of the alley, I watched as they grabbed him, one in front and the other to the side. They opened their mouths and howled, loud, unnatural, frightening sounds without tone or purpose, like a train signaling or a ship sending out a warning blast. Just loud and forceful, and then they bit into the man, and bit and swallowed. There wasn't any chewing, just chomping down and swallowing him whole. Blood poured onto the sidewalk. More blood spurted into the crisp fall air. The guy screamed. It was a sound unlike anything I'd ever heard before, a scream I can still hear in my head. Those dead things ate him, every shred and chunk, until one of them finally tore out his throat so he couldn't scream anymore. And they kept eating. I managed to make it back up to my apartment, only having to stop twice to throw up. Tears flowed down my cheeks, and I kept swiping angrily at my eyes so I could see my way clearly enough. Once I got back upstairs, I hurried back over to the window to see what was going on below. The dead things ate till just a pink skeleton was left. They'd ripped off the guy's clothing with their teeth to find the flesh underneath. They ate until I wondered where they were putting it all. And when there was no more, they dropped what was left of the man like he was nothing more than a used candy wrapper and wandered off. They waddled like grossly pregnant women. Their bellies were distended so far outward it was unnatural. It reminded me of cartoons I'd seen as a child, where the character's stomach was almost as large as the rest of its body. Later in the day, I saw another dead thing. It was a man. He, too, had that pale, comatose look on his face, and his arms flapped loosely at his side. He didn't come across as a living being like the 2 dead women had. He did, however, walk with a huge limp. As he crossed the street further on down, I could see a piece of bone in his lower leg sticking out. That's when I realized he was dead.